Hey guys, what's up? We are here with a general and timeless reading. What I'm seeing is that there may have been somebody that you needed to set boundaries with in like either a social or a work setting. This can also be with yourself too, where you're like, I need to be more regimented with this. I'm seeing there be a very big goal that you're working towards here. For some of you also, there may be, yeah, you could be like talking to a boss or an employer or somebody that's connected with your resources. You could even feel, for those of you that, if this is you with you, I'm seeing you need to like sort of set boundaries with yourself because you have a very particular goal that you're working towards, especially within the field of like career, something along the lines of that. However, if for those of you that it's you and someone else, you may feel like someone's like keeping money from you. Because you would look at this person and be like, you see them like this. Like, you see this person as being stacked, but you could feel like they're sort of keeping. I get this vibe of this person keeping something from you. Like, maybe you feel like you have a right to what this person has. It's giving, like, the energy of, like, when you're married to somebody and they may be the breadwinner and you could feel like they're holding money over your head. But you could also feel like this with a boss or a company, like, hey, share some with us, you know? And you may be like, well, I'm going to withhold what I can do unless you start paying me more, something like that. So, yeah, this can definitely be like a work thing. Let's get further and see. But if this is just you with yourself, you could be in a spot where I don't want to say like hoarding money, but you could be having a really big focus on saving until you reach a certain goal. I'm seeing you be such a hard worker. I'm seeing your work be very, very important to you. I'm also seeing the work you do be very lucrative as well. I'm hearing something about a golden standard. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of stars everywhere. You could have trophies, or there could be something that you've been keeping track of. You could also just be having a conversation with somebody that is like prospectively the type of person you want to be connecting with. I'm seeing something emotional popping up here. Or at least something that you're trying to make happen with this person. For those of you, again, that this is like you and somebody else that you're dealing with, you may be dealing with somebody that's very, very well off. It matters for some reason because it's coming up. This person may have a lot of money. But I'm seeing you trying to engage with them in a conversation. Like you're trying to make an intellectual connection is what I'm seeing here, but they may really be oriented towards the work that they do. So you could be trying to be like, so I read this book the other day, and they may just swing the conversation like constantly back around to the work that they do. But I'm seeing you sort of have feelings for them, but they're definitely, especially if you're dealing with somebody that's like an earth sign or they have a lot of earth in their chart, they're going to be kind of slow on the come up. Like once they make that connection with you, it's like there forever. But earth signs tend to be like a little bit more slow. You know, like think about characteristically the Knight of Pentacles. Everybody says it, like the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight out of all of them. But like once it's there, it's like somebody that's really going to show up and be reliable and detail oriented and dutiful, responsible. So yeah, you may make connections faster, just be able to sort of like see the vision more rapidly than this person does. Like they're more slow to realize certain things, but I'm definitely seeing a connection that you have here with this person. Yeah, I'm seeing something alluding to like this person having a lot of money. Again, I don't know why that's so important. Like, I don't know what this is about. I I don't know anything about like the context of this. Like, I'm just relaying what I'm picking up on, but there's something about someone having like an exorbitant amount of money or resources. So maybe there's something about like this person's family, and I'm hearing it again, them being very well off. Um, but I'm also seeing that they may have something going on emotionally with somebody that is sort of like getting in the way of your connection. But I'm seeing this person may be tied to their finances or financial situation, but they're like thinking about sort of. Okay, let me just use an example to make this as clear as possible. And this may not be, like, for some of you, this will be your exact situation. But for others of you, you're just going to have to sort of take, like, this theme as a template and sort of, like, apply it to your own, okay? But this is what I'm seeing here. Say you're starting to talk to somebody, okay, and getting to know them. And I'm seeing you have a lot of boundaries. And I'm seeing you definitely feel like you need to make an emotional and intellectual conversation. Oh, this is driving me nuts. You feel like you want to talk to this person and make a mental connection. They may be very caught up in material things and their job, or just like want you to perceive them as somebody that can really hold it down, okay? But I don't know if you're necessarily like impressed by all of that because you're like, show me your reading level. Like, that's the type of vibe that I'm getting for you, where you're like wanting to make sure you can maintain like an interesting conversation with this person. This person may be well off. They may not flex all the time about the stuff that they have, but they more so may flex about their position, like their work. Because, like, if we had the Knight of Wands here, this would be somebody, like, coming out being, like, very flamboyant and flashy and, like, that sort of way. That's not the deal with the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, like, they may have money and stuff like that, but there's somebody where they're like, I'm useful at my job. Like, that's the stuff that they're going to talk about. Like, I'm so good at what I do, you know? Like, what they're actually doing is going to matter to them. And then, like, also the money or, like, the resources or the connections that they have, their networking matters to them too. Now, like this masculine figure that I'm seeing here that is connected with this King of Pentacles, I'm seeing that they may actually have like somebody else that they have some sort of tie to. Maybe this is like an ex of theirs or something, or a family member that's also tied to the money that they have. For some of you, like they were married to this person before, but I'm seeing them have like kind of a toxic relationship with this person. And that's why there's something here about like them sort of like separating or taking a break from one another. So you're sort of just like watching all of this happen, and this person has like their own like social life going on, okay? But I'm seeing it maybe be a tricky thing for them to separate from like their other person because they have finances that are involved, and it looks like a hefty amount of like finances or resources that are involved. So this may for some reason be like an intricate or complicated situation because of that. But I'm seeing like you trying to get like closer with this person, but you may feel like this other person that they have, let's just call them a third party, but that doesn't mean that there's a romantic interest necessarily. It's just like an additional thing that's sort of like siphoning this person's energy, because a third party doesn't even have to be a person. It can be like an obsession that somebody has, you know? Like you're trying to talk to somebody and they're in the middle of like getting a degree or something, and that can be the third party, like them with their schooling that they're doing, you know? So it doesn't always have to be another person. What I'm seeing here is that like your person's third party has been maybe taking their emotional energy, and you could feel like that's sort of getting in the way of your connection. And your person may want to take like a break from this person, but there's something complicated because like for some of you guys, like they have children with this person, or they share a home with this person, or there's just stuff that's connected with the resources that are tied. I will say this too. You could feel like what this person has going on is not healthy and you're actually going to separate. Because I'm seeing you be like so in your air energy that if you feel like something is an issue now, you're going to address it rather than being like, well, we have an emotional connection, guess I have to deal with this. I'm seeing you be more so in the archetype of the Queen of Swords. So you've just been like analyzing and assessing everything. And I'm seeing you see like a very big red flag here. Nonetheless, this person is like coming through and trying to make an offer. But I'm seeing somebody else is going to reject this or turn it down. It feels like a soap opera. It's definitely just like a strange vibe. I will say this. For those of you that are like, this ain't my drama, it's just me, myself, and I, what I'm seeing is that right now you may be focusing more on the work that you do, and you may find that when you get caught up emotionally, it takes away from your like job responsibilities and you showing up the way that you want to at work. So you may not be engaging in overly emotional relationships. And when I say that, I mean things that would distract you from your other goals that you have in 3D. So for those of you that you're like, every time I get involved with someone, I get like swept away and carried away emotionally, and I feel like I can't have a work and like personal life balance if I'm seeing somebody or if I'm dating. And so you may stop dating for right now because you have like a very particular, I'm seeing just like when it comes to the work that you're doing, you may feel like you really need to be 100% present because I'm just seeing things go in a really great way. Like things look very affluent for you with work, and you may feel like an emotional connection is going to detract from what you're trying to accomplish. So you could be setting boundaries with yourself. That's not to say that you don't want to connect with another person, but it can also not be you too. You can feel like it's like every time that you attract somebody or connect with somebody, it always goes like in a direction that you don't like, or you may keep meeting partners that you feel like have emotional issues or that are codependent, and you may find yourself in an independent energy, and so you just cut it off because you're like, I don't want this to get in the way of the work that I'm doing, and I'm waiting until I find somebody who's also emotionally independent like I am, so both of us can work together as a team. But to be to like co-regulate with one another but not be codependent, you know? So if if this is just you with you, then that's what I'm seeing this story be. But for those of you that there are other people involved, it's like I'm seeing just a very complicated thing. Somebody's coming through and they're trying to like offer you something that they think that you want. Like they think this is a good deal that they're offering you, but I'm seeing your guides be like, for some of you this can be a job offer too. I'm seeing your guides be like, don't take it yet. You need to spend time like reading through this. So if there's like a contract or something, whatever this proposal is that's being offered to you, up front it may look like it's reciprocal, but I'm seeing your guides be like, don't commit to anything yet. It almost seems like something more is going to come to light that has not come to light yet at this point, because I'm seeing them say do not make a choice yet. 1444 on the time. That's divine guidance. All right, let me look at this for a sec. Yeah, you can have somebody coming through. For those of you that this is like a romantic situation or just like in your personal life, I'm seeing this person come through and want to connect with you, but they have somebody else, okay? So you may be setting boundaries with them and be like, be appropriate when you're approaching me. There are just like so many energies and a lot of a lot of varying energies that are coming through within this reading. Like I'm seeing like at least 6 different storylines that are coming through. So this just feels like so very windy, the way that all of the energy is. But I guess it's like a common thread enough for this to all be condensed into one reading. So yeah, there's somebody that you feel close with, but I'm seeing you feel like you need to set boundaries with this person, even though you feel like you have a special kind of connection with them. So you may be like proposing something to this person, but I'm seeing it be something that you've like thought about, and or they're proposing something to you that they've been thinking about. It seems like about emotional reciprocity between you and this person. So that may be a topic of discussion that's coming out. But you may feel like you're the one that always is like initiating conversations, and this person, I'm just seeing there be like a lack of maybe like an intellectual connection, or like maybe something that doesn't feel like it flows easily with the conversation between you and this person. But I do also feel like they're distracted because they have something else going on. So that may be why you feel you don't have their full attention. Because what I'm seeing here is you being like, look at what we have with one another, but you may feel like you haven't been able to show up emotionally the way that you want to with this person. Like, you'll talk to them all day when you want to, but you may feel like sort of a wall hasn't been broken. I'm seeing you be in the Queen of Swords energy, but I don't think that you want to be in that energy. I just think that there hasn't been an opportunity for you to break out of that archetype with this person. Because I'm seeing like you want to connect with them emotionally, but they may be connecting with somebody else emotionally. And you may wonder if you're this person's type emotionally as well. Because like, why is it just a conversation between the two of you, and why hasn't it unfolded into something else? And I'm seeing you feel like there's a connection there with them, but you may not feel like they really return this. And I'm seeing you even like mention something to them about this, but it's almost like you're trying to call them on the phone and they're like, hey, hold on a second. They're like continuing the conversation with this other person over here. So yeah, if you're like trying to connect with this person, it just seems like they're like entertaining the other connection that they have and trying to make it work with this other person. And it's somebody that they're into emotionally. I will say that too. And like they may also be like giving them money or something like that, like supporting them, or like trying to play that sort of role in this other person's life. So that's why I'm seeing you also be encouraged to be in the energy of the Queen of Swords, which means that you're leaning on using your discernment to be realistic and honest with yourself about what's actually going down here. Because you know what? Like your time and your energy is precious, and you may be like doing what you can to sort of like get this person to see that, but you know, if somebody's not seeing that, you don't need to prove your worth to anybody. And the right person for you is just going to recognize that. You're not going to have to like dance in front of them and like make them see. And you may kind of feel like you need to do that with this person. You may be starting to get frustrated at this point, because it's like you just see them with this other person over here like trying to make things work, but it seems like they already have like a soul contract started, and you may be trying to like create more of a soul contract with this person, but they're going to need to play something out with this other person over here, because I'm seeing something definitely like sticky that they need to work through. The interesting thing about this reading too is that like not all of you are going to resonate with this energy. Some of you guys are going to be this character. and you have somebody that you're connecting with and somebody else is approaching them over there. For some of you, you're going to be this person where you like have these two people here that want your attention and you're trying to manage both of these connections. So you can really like popcorn to any of these energies. I'm seeing Capricorn. I'm also seeing Sag on the bottom of the deck, and I'm also looking at Pluto. But yeah, you have to decide like what's your end goal here? Like, what do you want to happen, and is that possible within this situation? Because it's starting to look like something that may be going south a bit. And even though this could have felt very promising, it seems like it's time to assess what's actually been going on here, and that's where I'm seeing us leave things. It felt like it took forever to get to this conclusion here. Like, finally we know what this reading is about and like what your guides are telling you to do. They're telling you to take a step back and look at this whole thing and be like, is this really something that I want to be involved in? And do I really feel like I can accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish here? Okay. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.